Hi everyone, I'm in my garden today and I'm here today to talk to you about garlic and how to know when your garlic is ready for harvest. So it's middle of July and it's a little bit earlier than usual. Typically our garlic is ready for harvest here in my Zone 5AB garden towards the end of July, but here we are on the 16th of July and I think my garlic is ready. Now it's been ready for the last few days, but it's been rainy and the soil was wet. And we're expected to have more rain. So I suggest always to choose a dry day, and you want to be able to pull your garlic when the soil is dry so it's easy to it comes out easily and it's not dirty. So if your soil is wet, you'll pull your garlic and it'll be muddy garlic. And so I'm trying to find a day that's dry. And the garlic has been ready, and I'm going to show you what to look for, what signs to look for when your garlic is ready, how to judge it. People have asked me, how do you know when it's ready? I mean, how do you know really? So if you leave it in your garden to grow longer, what ends up happening is it will swell, but then it reaches a point where it stops swelling and then the skins on the bulb start to disappear. So if you wait too long, you'll end up pulling a garlic without much skin, which is not really good for storage at all. So you want to make sure that you pull it at the right time. Now you pull it too early, and it's okay to do that too, but you might not have a large garlic at that point or might not have reached its full growth size. So the stage that I'm pulling it at today is the right size, and I'll show you what it looks like, and I'll show you what it looks like when you pull it. So let's get started. Okay, so here we are in my garlic, and the signs to look out for are, you want to look for yellowing of the plant. So here you can see, I'm going to turn the camera a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Okay. So here is the top of the garlic, and you can see that it's yellowing. Now in the past, when I just started gardening and I didn't really know, I would wait for it to really get quite yellow. And so one year I waited way too long, I couldn't get to it, and I didn't have a lot of experience at that time. And what ended up happening was my garlic didn't have a lot of skin on it, which, you know, you're pulling it and it's kind of coming out as naked bulbs, naked cloves. You don't want that. That is not good garlic for storage, and it doesn't last, so you're gonna have to eat it pretty quickly. So it's good to start looking for the yellowing. When just the tips are yellowing, they'll be yellowing as your scapes are coming up, and that's still too early. So you want it to, after the scapes, after you've removed your scapes, you want to give it about 2 weeks, and after about 2 weeks, that's when your garlic is ready. And at that point, the tips will, the yellow will extend from just the tip to down a bit. You can wait till your garlic is about 1/3 yellow in terms of, it looks like the leaves have dried, or you can wait just a little bit like earlier than that. So I would say the garlic here in my garden isn't 1/3, it's maybe 1/4 dry, 1/4 yellow here, and I think it's ready. Also, you look at the bottom, leaves here, and you can see how the outer leaves are starting to yellow. If you can see that there. You can see the tips. This looks ready to me. I think that it's time for me to pull it. So I'm going to take my fork. Now, depending where you have it growing, you can use a tool like this. This tool here is great for pulling garlic. If you have your garlic growing in a raised bed, and your soil is fairly loose. Now, if you have your garlic growing in the ground, in an in-ground bed, and the soil is slightly firm, or firm like clayish, then this tool probably would be difficult. You'd have to bend. Instead of using a tool like this, you want to use a garden fork, and those are pretty good. So what you want to do is, let me see if you could see this. Nope, I'm going to tip the camera some more just so you can see a little bit better. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to go outside the garlic from the base about 2 inches, 2 to 3 inches, because you don't want to pierce the garlic. Now, if the garlic is really big and you come too close, what you're going to end up doing is cutting through the garlic, and then that's not going to store at all. You're going to have to use it immediately. So give it some give it maybe 3 inches from the base of the stem. Okay, put down your fork and start pushing. I'm going to need 2 hands for this. So I'm going to hold it by the stem like this. I'm just going to start lifting. You can push down. It's fairly safe to have it a bit further. I'm going to go a little bit more, and I start lifting, pulling. Tap off some of that soil, be gentle with it. And there you go. The garlic is ready. Let me tip the camera again. Okay. So as you can see, the garlic is ready. The very outer skin is coming off already. Perfect timing. You can see the shape of the cloves. and the garlic is ready. Now you want to dry your garlic after you harvest it. If you store it right now, it's going to mold. There's a lot of water inside the skins, and so if you leave it in a place that's humid or a place that is wet, it will mold right through, and then it'll damage your garlic. So you want to leave it to dry in a dry location. Now, if you're not getting a lot of rain and you have a dry spell, you can leave it under a tree if you want, or like on a picnic table in the shade, maybe under a porch. Somewhere that's covered and airy would be a really great location to dry it. You want to make sure that it's like going to be protected. If it's going to rain on your garlic, it will get moldy over time. So you don't want to do that. You want to definitely allow it to dry. So this needs to dry now for about a month or so, 3 weeks to a month. And then after that, you can cut I would cut the roots. You can cut the stem to about, I like to keep mine about that long, so leave about 3 inches. And then it's ready to store once all that comes off. You'll also be able to peel off any dry skin that's on the bulb itself, and it'll be nice and clean, and you can store it for the winter and then, you know, plant it in the fall. So I'm going to pull another one to show you what it looks like. Just going to leave this one here aside. Okay. Now, the reason why you want to use a garden fork when you're harvesting your garlic is because if your soil is very firm, then you'll end up ripping off, you can end up ripping out the stem and leaving all the cloves inside the soil, or you'll lose a clove or two, and you don't want to do that. So that's why a tool is good. However, if your soil is loose, you may not need anything at all. So let's see if I can pull this one. Well, see, I find it a little bit tough. So I'm going to get my fork, try to prop it underneath, and with the help of my fork, I lift it, because I don't want to damage any of these cloves, right? We worked so hard to grow this garlic, and we don't want to lose any of it. You can brush off some of the dirt. Don't peel the skin, but just brush off some of this dirt, and there you go. Beautiful. So this garlic is garlic that I have been growing from Bulbils, and for about 4 years, selecting for the largest bulbils, the largest, then in the second year the largest garlic, and then on and on until I can reach the largest type. So this all came from Bulbils. Now I have an article that I've written, and you can also find it on my website, on growing garlic from Bulbils. I'm going to post that link down below if you're interested. You still have scapes on your garlic plants, and if you haven't removed them, and you'll notice that they would have straightened, and then that little bulb at the top would have swollen, and if you leave that to grow, that will develop bulbils, and bulbils are basically teeny tiny cloves, which are the clone of the mother plant. So what you want to do is let those mature, remove them, and then plant them in the fall as you would garlic. And each like cluster of bulbils, you can get 100, maybe 100, maybe, you know, around that number, maybe less, depending on their size, and you can end up getting a lot of free garlic supply. But if you want more information on that, I do have an article and a post written on that. You can find it in the link in the description below. Please take a look, and this is what this came from. But anyways, so that's about it for when to know to harvest garlic. So look out for 1/4 to up to 1/3 of the plant yellowing from the top down. See, this one isn't even 1/4, but for me, I find this is enough. This is a safe number. Now, if you're going to be expecting a lot of rain and it's not quite there, leave it in the ground for longer. And if it's just about ready and you're expecting rain and it's not quite to 1/3 or 1/4 brown, but it's starting to be, I would suggest removing it if you're going to have a series of days of a lot of rain, because too much water at this point could rot the garlic, and you don't want to do that either. So that's it. Hopefully that helped, everyone. I hope that this video was helpful to you, and now you're ready to harvest your garlic. Hopefully now you're armed with all the information you need, and you all have a super successful garlic harvest. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave me a comment below. If you like my video, be sure to give me a like, and then please subscribe to my channel, and be sure to click the notification bell for any upcoming videos, because I'm definitely going to have more. Hope you're all having a terrific day. Happy gardening, everyone. Talk to you next time.